I want to know, at what age did you beat your brother in your first game of one-on-one?
Man, as early as I can remember. No, we've been playing since, we were all homeschooled, all my siblings, so we've been playing since I was wearing diapers. In all reality, my record is probably
Do athletes risk their career when they get caught up in betting? Well, the NBA just banned Toronto Raptors player Jontay Porter for life because he was caught betting on basketball games and even sharing insider info with a bettor to help them win big. Back in December, Porter signed with the Toronto Raptors on a two-way contract. Finally healthy after some tough times, he started showing glimpses of his real potential in the NBA. He was great at setting screens and passing, making him a threat when he was on the court. In his last NBA game, he even had 8 assists in less than 21 minutes, a rare achievement for a center. Porter's gambling actions, like changing how he played to help with certain bets, shine a light on tricky situations athletes and leagues face with sports betting getting more popular. Porter didn't just start gambling out of nowhere. He started investing in cryptocurrencies back in college. Since September 2020, he's been sharing stock and crypto trading tips on social media, claiming to help run a service giving advice on swing trading, a kind of trading that tries to make quick money. These sorts of online groups where people try to get rich fast have become really popular, especially after the GameStop stock craziness in early 2021. Since 2018, the betting world has gotten much bigger. Back then, the Supreme Court said states could allow commercial sports betting, which led to a big boom. Now, most states let people bet on sports both in person and online, so way more folks can join in. In 2023, sports betting made a whopping $10.92 billion in money, breaking records. That's about 45% more than the year before. The case of Porter shows us a big question. How can sports leagues and athletes keep their games fair with so much sports betting going on? The league's report says Porter knew what he was doing. He had been playing a lot previous games, so he knew his worth. But he still tried to manipulate the game and his role in it, all to win $1.1 million, which is less than what he made playing just 11 games for the Grizzlies in 2021. And he bet against himself. It's normal to doubt yourself sometimes, but treating yourself like a worthless investment is a whole other thing. But that's what happens when sports betting becomes so easy, it makes you want to bet more. You can place a bet really quickly without even thinking about what might happen. When you're using a betting app on your phone, you don't see all the stuff happening behind the scenes, like how every transaction is being watched. You only see the numbers you care about. It's no wonder people get addicted. In 2012 and then again in 2014, they sued New Jersey over a law that would make sports betting legal there. They said it would make people doubt the honesty of sports. Then in 2014, something changed. The NBA made a deal with FanDuel, a company that did fantasy sports back then. Fantasy sports got special treatment under the law, so FanDuel wasn't breaking any rules. Shortly after that, Adam Silver, who was new as NBA commissioner at the time, wrote an article saying sports betting should be legal and regulated. It was clear where things were heading, and the NBA wanted to be a part of it from the start. Over the next 10 years, the mix of legal gambling and sports coverage has become so common that it's hard to even notice anymore. In March 2019, Jontay was at the Denver Nuggets practice spot, watching his brother Michael play one-on-one with a buddy. It hadn't been long since he messed up his ACL and MCL during a scrimmage just 5 months earlier. He was really eager to get back on the court. Jontay could have gone pro after his first year at Missouri in the 2018 NBA draft, but he chose to stay and improve his chances. Then the knee injury happened. It was a bummer, but he was supposed to be ready to play by the 2019 draft night. Actually, he was due for a checkup a few days before in March to make sure he could run and jump again. But he had to cancel because of a huge blizzard in Denver that dumped almost a foot of snow. At the moment, he felt okay, and he was sure he'd get the all clear soon. So he jumped in. I guess I just got competitive. Porter told the Kansas City Star, I wasn't really thinking about my knee. I just went for it. I felt like I could do anything. As the game heated up in the one-on-one match against Michael, Jontay felt his knee pop. According to the Star article, Michael screamed at him, asking why he would play. By the end of the March, Jontay was having his second knee surgery in less than 6 months. That impulsive decision changed the course of his career forever. 5 years later, almost to the day of his second surgery, another surgery would end his career completely. According to Sean McKeever, a professor at Davidson College who knows a lot about sports and philosophy, what happened with Jontay Porter might just be the beginning. He says the pressure to cheat are strong, and bettors can make a ton of money if they get insider info from players or people around them. Porter, who used to play as a power forward for the Raptors and had been in the NBA for 4 seasons, got in trouble for gambling. The league announced his punishment earlier this week, which is seen as a warning to other players who might think about doing the same thing. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said in a statement that protecting the fairness of NBA games lives for fans, teams and everyone involved is super important, which is why Jontay Porter's breaking of our gaming rules is getting the harshest punishment. Porter got busted when a bet placed on his game performance seemed fishy to licensed sports betting folks and a group that watches over gambling markets. According to the NBA found 3 things Porter did wrong. The investigation showed that between January and March of that year, Porter made at least 13 bets using a friend's account. He even bet against his own team 3 times, hoping they would lose. Firstly, he bet on NBA games himself, which is a big no-no for players. They discovered he used someone else's online betting accounts to make 13 bets totaling $54,000 on different games. These bets didn't include games he played in, but they did include bets on Raptors games he wasn't part of. Secondly, Porter spilled the beans about his health before a March 20 game to a sports bettor. This insider info could have helped the bettor place bets and maybe even win some cash. And thirdly, Porter changed what he did during a game to help a bettor win their bet. In sports betting, people can bet on all sorts of things, like who will score the most points or if a player will make a mistake. These are called proposition bets or prop bets, and they focus on what happens in a game, not just who wins. In Porter's situation, a bettor bet $80,000 that he would play poorly in a game on March 20. If the bet went through, they would have won $1.1 million. During that game, Porter stopped playing after only 3 minutes, saying he wasn't feeling well, but betting folks noticed something fishy and put a hold on the bet. After looking into it, the NBA figured out that Porter faked being sick so the bet would pay off. The most extreme version of this would be throwing a game, but there are other things to manipulate too, like who scores first or who gets the most rebounds. The penalty the league gave Porter is the toughest they could, and it's the first time since 1954 that the NBA has banned a player for gambling related stuff. It shows they won't put up with this and that they're watching out for it while still working with betting companies. Sports leagues including the NBA, NFL and NHL team up with licensed betting sites to promote sports betting and get a big chunk of the money made. For instance, the NBA works with FanDuel and DraftKings, letting fans bet during games through their apps. Even the NFL has partnerships with betting companies, and the Washington Commanders have a betting sport in their stadium. According to Villanova University sports law professor Andrew Brandt, sports betting is all over the place in the sports shows we watch. Porter's case lets the NBA say they can watch the bad guys, even though they're part of making their industry bigger. Brandt told Vox that one of the integrity companies used by these leagues flagged the Jontay Porter bets. Now, Porter is banished and the NBA can claim integrity and simply remove a rogue player that transgressed. The sports betting market is set to grow even bigger in the future. Goldman Sachs thinks it will jump from a $10 billion industry to a $45 billion one eventually. Right now, 38 states and DC allow betting, and more might join in because of the big tax money it brings in. With sports betting becoming more common and easier to do, more people, including athletes, might get into it. This could mean more addiction, exploitation, and situations like Porter's. Leah Nower, who leads the Gambling Studies Center at Rutgers University, says that as more people gamble, more athletes might too, leading to more problems. Nower points out that athletes are more likely to develop gambling issues because they often bet on sports, which can lead to problems. What do you think about the whole situation? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, see you all.